So, what is your name and year?
Cassidy Howell S5.
Fantastic. And what were you studying at school and at NEScol?
Yeah, I take chemistry, history, German. At NEScol I studied lab sciences.
Okay, cool. And how did you find it studying at NEScol?
It was good. It's definitely a step up from school, but it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Bit stressful.
Okay. What does it mean to say step up from school?
It's a kind of different sort of environment because you're learning a lot of things at school, whereas it's more of focusing at college, and because it's I guess a little bit more grown up. But
excellent, thank you. And what skills do you think you were developing when you were working with NEScol?
I guess when we didn't work in partners, I guess sort of independence, purely because we had to work on our own, sort of, and because of COVID restrictions, we had to sort of be quite a bit more responsible. So, yeah, I guess sort of.
Did you do was it like research based? Is that what you were doing with the science technologies?
We did a lot of experiments, I think. So it would be like an experiment and then a lab report on it. So yeah, but I guess it's we did mainly more practical stuff rather than like actual research.
Okay. And in your words, what do you think the benefit has been?
Well, that could possibly set me up for the future if I want to do anything with lab sciences, because I've got the qualification now, so I'll be able to use that if I need to. And it's another learning experience too.
And how about the learning with college? Do you think that's helped you for your next steps after school in terms of how that might the kind of the learning environment?
Yeah, because it sets me up for then going on to like a higher level of learning. So I sort of have a taste of what it's going to be like.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you. What's your name and what year are you in?
I'm Jasmine Walker and I'm in 6th year.
Okay. And what were you studying at school and what have you studied with NEScol over the years?
Well, last year I did higher math, physics, chemistry, English, engineering science and graphics. And in NEScol I first did girls and energy with the shell, and then I did engineering, which is focused in mechanical and electrical, and now I finished automations and renewables.
Fantastic. And how have you found it over the years working with NEScol?
It's been great because you get a lot of practical as well as theory, whereas here you'd only get mostly theory.
Okay. So a bit more hands-on?
Yes.
What do you think is the big difference between studying with NEScol and studying at the academy?
You get a little bit more freedom. They treat you more like adults and you have to carry your own responsibility. And again, you get practical experience.
In terms of skills, what do you think you've developed over these courses?
Practical. And just being able to take things into my own hands rather than having the full support of my teachers. Just, I don't know, like being more independent.
Okay, that's
per
cool.
se.
What do you think has been the main benefit of having these opportunities to be at NEScol?
With my courses, I feel that it's allowed me to choose my career path, whilst here you'd only get the core subjects, whilst there you're more focused on the idea.
I'm thinking about your particular pathway, because you've done quite a lot of quite engineering type experiences. And can you look back to you did Girls and Energy, is that right? Do you feel like that was a bit of a start of something when you first did the Girls and Energy? Can you talk a bit about how Girls and Energy then started you off into other things, what it led on to?
Well, I was interested in the idea of engineering, so I did Girls and Energy to see what it's like. And I realized the things that I liked and what I didn't like in the world of engineering. So now I'm going to uni and I've decided on what to do. And we got a lot of experience with going to London with Shell, and they showed us different types of sectors in engineering. So it allowed me to choose my career path there.
And so, Girls and Energy in third year, and did that lead on to what came next? How did that happen? Did that inspire you to do something next?
Well, I knew the subjects that I definitely would want to take to carry on the career path. Yes.
What came after Girls and Energy? Remind me.
That was engineering.
So you did engineering after Girls and Energy, and then what did that lead to for this year?
So when I did engineering, that was in fourth year.
Oh yeah.
So that led me to do my hires in core physics, chemistry, and maths.
Fantastic.
And I wanted to see what renewables is like, because that's going to be the future. So I got a taster of what it's going to be like.
Fantastic. With like turbine technology and
Yes.
things like that. Fantastic. Now, as you're looking forward to the future, what are you going to do next, do you think? After this year? What are you
well-
applying for?
I've gotten all my offers, so I've chosen University of Edinburgh for structural engineering and with architecture.
Fantastic. So that would be for your sixth year. You would be going, if everything went right.
Yes.
Fantastic. Do you feel like that was always going to happen? Or do you think maybe the experiences you've had have helped shape that future?
Well, my family is very engineering type of people, so I knew that I wanted to go into engineering, but I didn't know what, because there's so much to pick from, and it just guided me in the right direction.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jasmine. Now, first of all, what's your name and what's your year?
I'm Brooke Henderson and I'm in S3.
Fantastic. And what were you studying at school last year and with NEScol?
Well, with NEScol, I studied Girls and Energy with Shell, and last year I did National for Graphics, Art, Chemistry, Biology, and Computer Science.
Fantastic. How did you find it working with NEScol last year?
I found it really fun. It was great to be in a professional atmosphere, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It felt welcoming.
Did you get any stuff from them?
I did. I got PPE gear. So I got, goggles, a boiler suit, and boots. Steel-toed boots, I think.
And are you the kind of person that would always live in like boiler suits before that, or were you? Is this the first time you've really?
It was my first boiler suit. It was cool though.
Did you get any technology from them?
I got an iPad. An iPad.
Fantastic. So all this stuff, was it just about free gifts, or did you do real stuff?
Did real stuff.
Yeah. What kind of real stuff? What kind of project did you do?
Well, we built a windmill from scratch, basically. We dismantled a solar panel, and we tested it outside on the last day to see if it worked.
Did it?
I did.
There you go.
Aye.
Engineering works. What was different about studying in your normal classes and studying with NEScol?
Well, first of all, studying with NEScol, I felt like it was more professional, and it was taken seriously to a higher level than class. And I felt like everyone was more focused and wanting to learn. Because if they knew that they didn't pass the course, they'd have to hand the iPad back. So.
Oh, there was a price. Price to be paid. Let's dig into some skills. I think you're a very skilled young person, okay? But some of those skills maybe you didn't have before this year just gone, or maybe they were turbo boosted with this course. What do you think has either turbo boosted, got better, and what's brand new skills?
Well, I think the skills that have turbo boosted would definitely be my communication, because I would just keep myself to myself. But with Girls and Energy, it kind of forced us to be in groups and communicate with each other, to speak to each other, because you couldn't just make a windmill by yourself. You need to do it in a group. And probably a new skill that I've learned is working with drills.
Working with drills.
Working with drills.
Fantastic. Moving forwards now, imagine you had never done that course, and now look at you having done it. What do you think has been the big benefit?
Definitely. I think it's just led on to like lots of more opportunities. It's made me realise now that I'm interested in that like area of learning, and I've never really thought about it before.
What area would you call that? Like kind of
Like
engineering?
engineering.
Okay. And thinking about your future, do you think it's changed the way that your career might go?
It's kind of made me think about what I want to do. I'm not exactly sure, but it's kind of opened more opportunities. And yeah.
And this year going forwards, have you managed to secure a college course for this year, or are you going to do that again next year, or what? I've
chosen this year digital media.
Fantastic. So you're certainly not been put off from working with the college?
No. I really enjoy working with the college.
What would you say to someone who was deciding whether or not they should work with the college whilst at school?
Well, I would say to them that it's more like a professional atmosphere. I would say that you feel welcome there, and everyone's more grown up, so your learning is going to improve. Great.
Thank you very much, Brooke.